mistakes you need to avoid? Are you willing to risk the chance of getting one of the tourist visas that you may get without even knowing one of these mistakes? Based on many years that I have as a lawyer, I've been an immigration lawyer for a long time. A lot of people make these 4 simple mistakes all the time, and these mistakes could ruin the interview, and then eventually can ruin your trip and the fact that you can get this tourist visa, the US tourist visa, the B2. These 4 errors can cost you everything. So stay with me until the end of this video, because you will know exactly what to avoid, and so you can get eventually that visa approved. That is what you want, obviously, and without any issues. I am Julio Oyhanarte, immigration lawyer, and let's jump right now to the information. The number 1 mistake that I see all the time is people making mistakes while completing the DS 160 form, which is the form that you need to complete online to get your tourist visa. A lot of people, like, this is a form that is quite old, I would say. And one tip that I can give you is to save your pages. Every time you complete a page, you must save one so that you don't lose all the information and need to start again all the time. Also, when you start your tourist visa, they will give you a code and you will need some security questions. Have that information handy, because if the form disconnects, and I'm guaranteeing you that it will be disconnected, because this happens all the time. You will need this security information all the time and this code all the time. If you have it at hand, you will go faster, okay? And then you save every page, because if you don't do that, you may miss. Maybe you will need to start again, and you will be pissed off, and you will probably make mistakes just because of this reason. So a big mistake people make is filling out this form incorrectly. Sometimes because they don't put enough care, sometimes because they delegate this task to a third person, a third party, another person that will help you do it. Sometimes they don't know you well, and maybe they make a mistake on your birth date or any other relevant information that they don't know. They are just, filling out the form. So be careful with this. If someone's helping you, that's fine, but you need to review everything that they have written down or completed before submitting the form, okay? Then another problem with the form is some people are not telling the truth. This is a big mistake in immigration. If you lie in the form, if you say something that is not correct, that can give you problems in the future. And trust me, the US government do not have all the information in the world, but they have access to a lot of information. So if you put incorrect information in the form, or you're lying there, this obviously can have serious consequences in immigration if you hide information as well. For example, typical case, if you have your parents, spouse, sibling, or son or daughter living in the US, the US government will want to know this. They will ask you this in a specific part of the form, and you need to tell them the truth. Obviously, if one of these family members are in the US because they are citizens, they are residents, or they are here undocumented or seeking for asylum or whatever, the chances of getting the tourist visa are lower, because they want these family members not to be in the US for a tourist visa. Why? Because when you apply for a tourist visa, you're sending the signal to the government. You're telling them that you want to come to the US to do tourism, not to stay here for a long time. And if you have your family already in the US, these important family members, not every family member, but these important family members, you will have a presumption that maybe you will want to stay with them. But you will need to tell them the truth, because guess what? The government already knows this. So please don't hide this information. So this is the first mistake, mistakes with the form. Whether it is that you're lying, you're hiding information, or you're not checking everything correctly and you make a mistake, that can give you a problem in the future. The second mistake that I see all the time with the tourist visa is people that go to the interview without due preparation, without being prepared enough. And when I mean preparation, I mean they go poorly dressed. I'm not going to give you fashion advice, my friends. This is not, I'm an immigration lawyer, so do not expect from me any fashion advice, okay? I'm a regular guy with a white shirt. But again, think about it like you're going to a job interview. Would you go to a job interview poorly dressed? Probably not. Probably not. I don't mean by this that you need to buy fancy clothes or use a tuxedo. No, I'm not saying that, but at least be well prepared. Why? Because you're going to be interviewed by an officer. And the officer, guess what? It's a human being. It's a human being like you and me. And unfortunately, human beings, and this is by design, most of us are influenced by our first impression on someone. If someone is smelly, someone has a lot of strong perfume, someone is poorly dressed, the impression is not the best. And this may influence, unfortunately, and this may be unfair, but this is what happens in real life, my friends. This is real life advice, okay? This may influence negatively what the outcome of your visa, unfortunately. So go dress in a reasonable manner. Also related to not being prepared for the interview is not knowing all the details of your case, of your life, of your form, and everything. They will ask you, usually they ask you, what's your, if you have any activity going on, if you have a profession, if you are studying, if you have a business, or if you are unemployed, they would like to know, what are you doing? They want to know that. They want to know where's your family. They want to know if you have enough money to afford a tourist a tourist trip, a trip as a tourist, because unfortunately coming to the US right now is not cheap. And if you want to come to as a tourist, you will probably spend a lot of money, and they want to know if you can afford that. Example, if you're proposing and you're telling the officer that, hey, I want to go with my family, we are 5 in my family, and we want to go to Disney in Orlando. That's amazing. That's beautiful. But guess what? That's expensive. Going to Orlando on a family trip to Disney, it means plane ticket, it means hotel, it means tickets to enter the parks, it means buying food. That's a lot of money. Not everyone can have that money to use it in this kind of trip. So unfortunately, that's real life again. And the officer will pay close attention to your economic status to see if you're a person that may afford such a trip. If this is a trip that you are planning, there are some other budget trips that you can make in the US as well, but have this in mind. So know all your details. And when I say this, I also mean, for example, if you have had in the past problems with immigration, problems with, I don't know, a criminal history, all of that, you need to know all the details because they may ask you about it. Then you need to know what ties to your home country you have, because this is a key factor to getting the tourist visa. The officer would like to know what are the ties to your home country, how strong they are. Because guess what? This is what the law says. Everyone that is applying for a tourist visa has a presumption against themselves that they want to come as an immigrant and stay permanently in the US. Yes, you heard me right. If you want to apply for a tourist visa, you will have this presumption against you that you want to stay in the US as an immigrant, even if you don't want it, but you will have this presumption and you need to review it. And you do that explaining all this stuff. For example, what are the ties to your country or where you're living? For example, are you working? Do you have a business? Are you a student? Or are you unemployed? Someone that is unemployed may have more chances of, statistically, to stay in the US permanently and try to immigrate to the US in comparison to someone that has an established business or is in the middle of the, I don't know, an engineering career or something like that. These people usually do not abandon their life just to go on an adventure to see if they stay in the US. Some may do it, but it's unlikely, and so this is really important to know the ties to your country. Also, when I talk about preparation, I mean coming to the interview on time. Do not come last minute. Maybe there's traffic. Maybe something happens in the way to the consulate. Just be 15 minutes, 30 minutes before your appointment time, just in case, okay? Just to be safe and sure. Don't leave this to chance or to the last second. Please come with enough time. In most consulates, you cannot enter with your phone. You cannot enter with any electronic device. They will not let you do it. So plan ahead, okay? Plan ahead. Also, one tip that I can give you is if you get your tourist visa approved, and that's hopefully the case, once you get the visa, please check it out. Check for any spelling mistakes, any other mistake that the visa may have. Because you know what? The government, the officers are human beings and they may make a mistake. That happens. And that happens a lot, unfortunately. So check your visa. Check that your name is correctly spelled. Because if it's not, and you're trying and you find out at the US border or airport, maybe the officer doesn't let you in because they see a mismatch between your information and what's written on the visa. So if there's a mistake, just let the consulate know so they can correct it. Okay, check the visa every time you get a visa, please. The third mistake that I see in many cases is when people are trying to enter the US. Once you got the visa, let me show you. This is a tourist visa. It's already expired. This is a visa. This is my tourist visa. It's already expired, but I used it many times. So I know because I used it. I got it and I used it. When you come to the US, you need to plan ahead. And you need to know all your plan in advance because you may be questioned about it. What do you need to know? You need to know about, first, have a return plane ticket. Obviously, someone that plans to immigrate and stay in the US may have a return ticket and never use it. But if you don't have a return ticket, that may be suspicious by an officer. Most people have a return ticket and they plan ahead. If you don't have it, that may raise some red flags for the officer. Then, how much money are you bringing? Exactly how much money are you bringing? And if you enter with over $10,000 or more, you can have problems if you don't declare that. You may enter with more in cash, but you need to declare it. If you don't, you can have an issue and maybe they deny entry and you will have a lot of sanctions. So try not to have over $10,000 in cash, okay? Bring credit cards and stuff. You can bring cash, but try not to bring over 10,000. If you do, you need to declare it and say it. This happened to me once. The officer told me, "Do you have over $10,000?" No, I knew exactly how much money I was bringing. And the officer said, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yes." "Are you sure?" "Yes, officer, I have less than 10,000. And he said, "If you have over 10,000, you can do it, but you need to declare it. Please tell me the truth." And I was like, "I'm telling the truth." "Okay." And he let me in. And then my mother, this is real life examples. My mother, she had $9,000 while leaving the US, not entering. She was leaving the US with $9,000 in cash. And she's like me from Argentina, and she had a lot of Argentinian pesos. If you don't know that, that's our currency in Argentina, and there's a lot of inflation. So maybe you have a lot of bills, but it's not worth a lot. So she had a lot of pesos worth nothing. I don't know, $200, but it was a pile of cash plus $9,000. And what happened when she was boarding the plane? A canine, a dog from immigration, they're trained to smell a lot of bills. So the dog was like jumping over my mom. And then the officer counted every bill to make sure she had less than $10,000. And they counted every single bill. And luckily she didn't have over 10,000 because she knew this. And otherwise she would have a lot of problems. So plan ahead. How long are you staying exactly? Officer, I'm leaving that given date on July 9th, on September 20 something. And this is my return ticket. And I'm staying here. If you have a hotel reservation, try to have it at hand. You may be questioned about it. So plan ahead. Hotel, exact dates, how much money, and what you're planning to do in the US. Are you coming on vacation? That's perfect. What's your plan? Well, I'm coming here to take surf lessons in Los Angeles, in California. I'm here to go shopping on the Fifth Avenue in New York. I'm coming here because I'd like to try the new restaurants in Miami. I'm coming to Las Vegas because Oasis, the best British band after the Beatles, are playing again. I don't know. You need to have some specifics. Don't go far away giving all your plan because you will piss off the officer, but at least have a mini explanation of the activities you're planning to do. Okay, this is really, really important. So the third mistake is not planning ahead. Once you get the visa, the fourth problem people have with the tourist visa is staying too long or longer than permitted, or entering many times in a short period of time. These are three mistakes. This can put your tourist visa and your status in jeopardy. Because people say sometimes, "Julio, the officer let me stay 6 months," which is a common thing. They may let you stay 6 months once you enter. That depends on the officer every time you enter. They may leave you 6 months. But if you stay, for instance, 5 months, and you leave before the 6 months, You may say, hey, they let me stay here 6 months and I left at the 5th month, so I'm fine. I heard a lot of stories of people that stay a long time, even if they left before they were admitted, let to stay here in the US, and they had issues while trying to renew the visa or while trying to use it again and coming back in the US. Because you know what? This may be suspicious in the sense of it's okay, you can take all the vacation that you want. That's not illegal, fortunately. But someone staying 5 months as a tourist is suspicious. It's not common. You can do it, but you will need to explain it the next time, probably. Or maybe they don't even give you the chance to explain it because the tourist visa, fortunately, they give the visa if they want, and if they don't, they don't give it. And sometimes they reject it just because. And they have all the authority and power to do so. So you need to be careful and protect the visa and use it properly. Within this 4 mistake, a lot of people stay they overstay. They stay more than they are allowed. The other day, I spoke with a client and she entered and she thought she would have 6 months and these 6 months will expire any given day. And she was wrong. When we checked the I-94, which is an online form in which you can review how long you can stay until the exact date, she could stay until, I don't remember the exact date, but it was, for example, she could stay until September 10th, and she thought, because she was confused, that she could stay until September 15th. If she stayed until September 15th, she would use the visa overstayed, and that would have been a problem in the future. And then, if you enter many times in a short period of time, this can also raise red flags in the officer's suspicion, and they will say, "Why are you entering so many times?" This is obviously not a common thing, and again, they can take you to secondary inspection. They can check your phone. They can check your tablet. They can check everything. And if they see that you are misusing the visa, you are coming here to work, to find a job, to get married, to stay here with a green card, with a tourist visa, then you will encounter some problems. You may face deportation, 5-year penalty. So be careful with all of this. So these are the 4 most common mistakes that I see with a tourist visa, and I don't want you guys to make these mistakes because I see them too often, and I want you guys to get your tourist visa and come here as a tourist and have fun, take this vacation. Also, you can use the tourist visa for medical treatment. That's something that you can use the visa for. So something to bear in mind. Hopefully you don't need it, but it's good to have it just in case, because here in the US, we have amazing hospitals and one of the best doctors in the world, and sometimes some illnesses can only be treated here in the US. So you need to protect your visa for tourism purposes, but also hopefully you never use it, but it's good to know that you can use it just in case for medical treatment as well. Let me know, guys, where you're from. I'm Julio Oyhanarte, immigration lawyer. We're talking about the tourist visa, but we can talk about other topics that you guys want. If you want to let me know in the chat, and I can answer some questions. I'm based in Los Angeles, California, and I'm an immigration attorney. I can apply USA work visa, says Slops. Okay, to get a work visa, you need a company to sponsor you. That's the first step, my friend. Unfortunately, you don't get a work visa just because you pay a lawyer or someone to get the visa for you. It's not like the tourist visa that, as I explained, you apply at the consulate just to try to get it. No, the work visa, you need a company to sponsor you. The company will start the process in your favor, so you will be the beneficiary. The company will be the petitioner, and they need to apply for the correct work visa. There are many work visas on YouTube, Immigration TV USA. I have a video about the 10 most used work visas. They are different for people with academic degree, without an academic degree, etc., etc. So come to Immigration TV USA on YouTube. We are live right now, and subscribe with the little bell so you don't miss any video, any news, and you are supporting the channel. Visa waiver is some countries, many European countries, Chile in Latin America, they have what's called the visa waiver program, or ESTA. It's not a visa, it's a waiver for a visa. So it's a way of coming to the US. You need to do this, file a form online and pay $21. And if you are approved, you can come with this passport, some passports, to the US without the need of having a tourist visa. Some differences is like the visa waiver does, you can only stay up to 90 days per trip, per entry. With a tourist visa, the B2, the officer may leave you stay for 6 months if the officer wants. So, but with a visa waiver, you cannot stay more than 90 days. Then with a tourist visa B2, you can extend the status as a tourist. You can change the status in the US for study, work, investment. But with a visa waiver, you cannot do that. Okay. And so there are some also differences at the asylum office. If you want to apply for asylum, there are also a few differences if you enter with a visa or with a visa waiver. But in summary, the visa waiver is a bit more restricted. It's amazing because you can use it easily if you are qualified and they accept you, but then it's more restricted. But it's great for a short trip, obviously. Let me know, guys, where you are in the world. I want to know. I'm curious because this is one of the first times I'm going live on my platforms in English. So I'm trying to understand where you guys are. Also, my obsession is to serve you in the best way possible with the information that you guys need. So I ask me questions about what you want, and hopefully, maybe I can help you. I have an interview in 1 month, says Goar. Well, good luck with that. Hopefully, these tips that I'm giving you and all the videos that I'm making are useful for you. I have Marian in Dallas. I was in Dallas a couple of weeks ago. There was at a convention center, YouTube convention. Is the owner of this convention is Mr. Beast. Maybe you guys know him. He's the #1 YouTuber in the world. So there were many of the most famous YouTubers there. It was only for creators. So I was there trying to learn this thing about YouTube. My idea always is try to help as many people as I can. If I do it as a lawyer, amazing. But if I can also do it with technology, with videos, that's beautiful. Our videos were already reproduced over 2 billion with a B, 2 billion times across platforms, which is ridiculous and insane. We are the largest immigration community in the world with over 13.5 million followers across platforms. This is thanks to you guys. My English channels are newer. I started with Spanish because, as you can tell, I have a weird English accent, and I was like, I'm well aware of it. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to make videos in English. I don't know if people would appreciate it because I have a weird accent, but thanks to Gianfranco, my business partner, many of you know him as the officer at the airport, but he's an amazing lawyer. He encouraged me to do this, so I'm trying this conversation in English, so hopefully this is useful, even if I have this weird accent, okay? Because I'm originally from Argentina. I'm an immigrant as well. I have Akhtar from Bangladesh. I love Bangladesh. You know what? For many reasons, but the most important reason is that because there we have a lot of Argentinian fans there in Bangladesh. The first time I spoke with someone from Bangladesh, he told me, did you know that there are more Argentine fans in Bangladesh than in Argentina? And I was like, why? Because our population is larger than in Argentina. A lot of people follow the national team, and now with Messi, back in the day because of Maradona. And we in Argentina are well aware. We got the videos from people in Bangladesh celebrating when we won the World Cup. So we love Bangladesh. And hopefully I would love Argentina to go there and play one day. That would be amazing. I would love that. I have Ahmadi from Afghanistan. Love you, my friend. Thank you for being here. For me, it's amazing having people from all over the world. This is magic. So I have a question from BJ Bakshi, sorry. F1 mistakes. The F1 is the student visa. I'm going to show you a student visa because I used to have a student visa in the past. I was a student here many years ago when I was studying my master's degree, my Master of Laws. I came to UCLA, a beautiful university in Los Angeles. It's the University of California, Los Angeles. And the typical mistake people make with this visa is not explaining sufficiently who's going to pay for the course and for your stay in the US, for room and board, etc., your expenses. This is a big mistake. Some people are not prepared for this, and the officers want to know this. Who's going to pay for it? If you don't have enough money, you can have a sponsor. So maybe a parent or a family member or a friend can help you with this, but be prepared to have financial documents to show the capacity of the sponsor to pay for the reasonable expenses. And my advice here is, because the university or the school or college will make an estimate on how much is the course plus the stay in the US expenses. Try to have at least 25% more of what they say. Do not be just in the limit, just to show the officer that you have a margin in case of an emergency or whatever. This is a big mistake that people make. How long does it take asylum? Well, depends. It could be a few months. We are seeing for some clients that they're calling them quite quickly at the asylum office. This is for people usually that came with a visa. But immigration court can take more, longer. It could be also a few months or a few years. Just to give you some quick numbers, there are over 1 million cases at the asylum office and over 3 million cases at immigration court, and only a few hundreds of officers or judges. So in general, be prepared for being a slow process, but things can change. And we have elections here in the US in November. We will have a new president in January, and the system can change. We don't know. We're going to have a new Congress as well, part of the Congress. Prince Will from Cameroon. How are you, my Cameroonian friends? The first time I heard about Cameroon, I was a little boy. This is 1990, and Argentina, I was talking about soccer and football in Argentina, but played against Cameroon in the World Cup in Italy, and we lost 1-0, and I suffered a lot. I was like, Cameroon, they made me suffer. But you always had amazing football players, and I admire your culture and your people a lot, and beautiful. Thank you for being here. My friend from Indonesia. Wow, beautiful. I would like to go to Bali one day. I heard beautiful things about it. Everyone's talking amazing things about the people from Indonesia. Pakistan. Wow. Ghana. Love it. All right, guys. The green card lottery is approaching. What is the green card lottery? This is something really important. The US government is giving away over 50,000 permanent resident cards, the green card. That's a green card to become a permanent resident. They're giving away 50. This is true. You can Google it if you don't trust me. It's a law, 1990 law by the US Congress. They want to foster the diversity in the immigration. So for countries with low immigration influx, they give green cards. And it's 50,000, over 50,000, between 50 to 55,000 every year. But you can only apply in October for 1 month and a week, early October until early November. We don't have the dates yet. I sent you guys, for you guys that are on our email list, our newsletter, I sent you guys, I think yesterday, an email telling you that we are researching to try to find when the US government publishes the opening of the green card lottery. Based on my estimation and my experience, it could be October the 2nd or around there, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, something around that week, the first week of October. We don't know yet. We are looking for it. We're looking forward to it. And you only have one chance per year to apply. So it's really important. And also bear in mind, this is really important. Hopefully I'm wrong, but this could be the last lottery in history. Why? Because back in the day when Donald Trump was the president, he tried to cancel the program. In order to do so, he needed a majority in Congress, and he didn't have that majority. If he's a president again and we have a different Congress and has the majority, he may cancel the lottery. He tried to do that before. And we have elections in November and new president in January. So this may be the last lottery ever. Hopefully not, but we don't know. But in any case, you need to use the opportunity as many times as you have, and you need to use it, because this is an amazing program that can change your life and your family life forever, and your descendants, your grandkids, and more. Why? Because you can be a resident of the US. This is the #1 economy in the world. And you can become a US citizen in the future as well. There's a path to citizenship. So this may change lives. And we already change lives with these programs because we help people every year to apply correctly. Why correctly? 40% of the people make mistakes when they apply. 40% of people make mistakes. Why? They make mistakes in the form, they make mistakes with the photo, etc., or the requirements. So I will help you guys do it. I will launch probably this week a free guide with more information about the program. So stay tuned to your emails. If you are getting our newsletters, open the email because I will send you a free guide. If you don't have it yet, we launch it every year. And I will post videos on social media announcing the free guide and then announcing the open date, okay, the launch. And we will launch the green card lottery method by the end of September. Stay tuned. I will let you know. We did that last year for the first time in English. This will be the second time in English. We've been doing this for many years in Spanish, but now I want to help people from other parts of the world because as I started with Latin America. Now I want to help people in Africa. I want to help people in Asia, in Europe, or wherever you are, all right? I want to help all the immigrants in the world. That's my mission, as many people as I can. So thank you when you're sharing this video, you're putting a like, you're commenting, you're following us because you're helping us spread the word with all this information that may change someone's life or your life, hopefully. So stay tuned with the Green Card Lottery. It's coming. Not every country qualifies. We need to wait until end of September, beginning of October to see which are the disqualified countries this year because not all the countries qualify, okay? But I will let you know as soon as we know. Rash says, you're doing great watching from Abu Dhabi. Thank you, Rash Wallace. I've been to Abu Dhabi and to Dubai. I've been to the Louvre Museum that you guys have there in Abu Dhabi, and it's amazing. It's beautiful. I know there's a Ferrari theme park, but I didn't have time to go. So that's pending because I like Ferrari. Hello from Immigration Officer Indonesia. I'm not an immigration officer. I'm an immigration lawyer. Maybe you are an immigration lawyer officer. I don't know. So Garvin, thank you for being here. Oh, we have Lucille from Tanzania. Lucita, sorry. Thanks for being here. That's far away. I still want to live in Michigan. Well, that's an option, obviously. That's beautiful. A beautiful place. We have a lot of people from the Emirates right here. Watching from India, says Sobe. I would like to go to India. One of my best friends from UCLA, Tejisba, he's from Delhi. And I wanted to visit him. And I was about to go to India. I've never been. I would love to. But then COVID hit and I couldn't go. And then, you know, life goes on and it's pending. But hopefully one day I will go. We have friends from Paraguay, obviously. We have here Saul Gomez. I've been to Paraguay many times. I have a lot of friends from Paraguay. It's a beautiful country with amazing people. They're really nice. The food is really good. So visit Paraguay if you want. It's in South America, obviously. It's a neighbor of my country, Argentina. And I love Paraguay. K1 fiance visa. K1, when you're a U.S. citizen, you can get a visa for your fiance, for your boyfriend or girlfriend, so they can come to the US, enter with a visa, and within 90 days that they enter, you get married, and then the US citizen petitions for the green card for the fiance, for the newly spouse. Okay, that's the K1 visa. You need to prove that the relationship is real, bona fide, obviously. Right now, sometimes it's not the best tool after the pandemic in some cases because it used to take around 6-7 months until you get the visa, and then you need to enter and get married and get the green card. But right now, it's taking more time after the pandemic, and sometimes it's probably faster and cheaper to get married somewhere, and then the citizen starts the green card through the consulate. And so you just enter with a green card. It may take more time for you to enter, but sometimes it's the same time because the K1 is kind of delayed. This may change. This may change. I'm in California and I want a work permit. Okay, this is Nauros. I'm reading the name so badly. I'm so sorry. At this point, I cannot read anything because this late here. I got a hat on TikTok. I don't know what's that, but thank you. But anyways, to get a green work permit, you need something that gives you the right to petition for the work permit. You don't get a work permit just because you pay someone and they get you the work permit. You get a work permit because you're entitled to file for one. For example, if you have a pending asylum case, you may get a work permit. In some family green cards within the US, you may get a work permit in the meantime. U visa, T visa, a TPS, these petitions can make you get a work permit, but you don't get a work permit just because you want one or you pay for one. It doesn't work that way. So be careful, because there are a lot of scammers that are, doing this, and because people don't know about what I'm telling you, a lot of people fall victim because of this and pay at the scammer to get the work permit, and they lose the money. So be careful. Peaceful Word says, I was refused the F1, the student visa 3 times. Will I get visa in the fourth attempt? Hopefully you will. Obviously, once you have many refusals, the first thing I would like to know is if you know the reason why that was being refused. In most cases, F1 visas maybe are refused because you couldn't explain what I said before, that you had the funds to pay for the expenses and the course you want to study. Maybe there was an issue with that. I don't know. If that was a situation, in any case, I will not apply again until you change the situation from the previous time. So if the sponsor or the money was a problem, try to get the money. Otherwise, you will get a new refusal. But the first step is try to understand why. Maybe you don't know why. That would be a problem, because how to know when you change your situation when you don't know the situation? But this applies the same for a tourist visa. For example, if you don't have strong family ties in your country, that may be a problem for the visa. And if that changes, then maybe you have more chances. If you are unemployed and you get a refusal and then you get a job in your country, your chances may be higher of getting the visa. But again, do not try the same visa again if the things are the same. Try not to do it. At least don't do it quickly in a short period of time, because the officer will see your immigration record. They will see 3 refusals. And if they see the same case, the chances are lower. That's the truth. But please keep on fighting. Try it eventually. I've seen a lot of people with even more refusals, and they finally got what they wanted. So do not stop trying, but try to get legal advice to understand what happened and what you can do to improve your odds. If I get the green card, can I go back to my country again? Says Yasir. Well, depends. In general, you can, but if you got your green card through asylum, you may have an issue. Why? Because asylum is for people that are afraid to come back to the country, to their own country. That's why you seek for asylum. If you're not afraid of coming back to your country, you will not get asylum, period. So asylum is if you're afraid. And if you tell the government or a judge, Your Honor, I'm afraid of coming back to my country. Can I get asylum? And they trust you and they believe you and you get asylum, and then you get a green card. Eventually, that's what happens when you get asylum. You may apply for a green card. And immediately you go back to your country. What do you think the government will think? They will probably think that you lied. And no one can get something in immigration by lying. If the government finds out, they may take away what you got by lying, by misrepresentation. Example, if you get married with a friend, not your lover, and it's not for love, but just because you want a green card, and you get away with it and you get a green card, but then the government finds out it was a scam, it was fake, sham marriage, they may take your green card or citizenship away. So yeah, that's the sad truth. When you are with asylum, coming back to your country can be a problem. That's unfortunate, obviously. But again, asylum is for people that are afraid to go back to their country. But in general, people with green cards can enter and leave the country without any problem. Try not to stay a long time outside the US. Try not to stay more than 6 months or even more than 1 year. If you do that, you may have issues when you try to come back. But other than that, in general, there's not any problem. Can I petition my brother? Depends. If you're a US citizen, you may, but it takes a long time. It takes 17 years. Yeah, you heard me right. 17 years. But if you are from Mexico, China, India or the Philippines, it may take family members may take longer because there's more people seeking for these green cards in these countries, and no country can take more than 7% of any given category. A few people are asking me for Canada. I'm a U.S. immigration lawyer. I do not give legal advice for Canada. I don't know the Canadian law, so you need a lawyer in Canada. I don't do that. Beautiful country, but that's not what I do. So we have Ismael Gomez, who is an amazing friend that is always in Immigration TV in Spanish, and he's sending me a message in Spanish that I'm going to translate. Ismael says, always with you. I just became a police officer. I'm really happy, and I want to share with all of you guys. So Ismael is sharing with all of us. He's a new police officer. Ismael, congratulations, hermano. Felicitaciones. Gracias por estar aquí, and happy for you with your new job. That is really important, and hopefully you can do good for your people and serve your people correctly. That's what we want, and congratulations, my friend. Gracias por estar acá. Can I apply for the green card lottery inside the US? You can, yes. The green card lottery, you can apply inside or outside the US, but attention with this. If you're in the US and you're undocumented, winning the green card lottery will not clear your immigration record, okay? But I would apply anyway, because maybe the little changes, or there's a there are a few legal exceptions that are tough. You just apply. But if you are undocumented, do not have a lot of expectations. That's the bottom line. But do it. It's not going to hurt you. Harman Hill says, Julio, when is the USA lottery visa will open? Very soon, early October. We don't know the date yet, but I will let you guys know when we know on all our platforms. So follow us. If you're watching us and you're not following, follow us. And I will let you guys know. And I will send you guys during this week probably the free green card lottery guide with more information in your emails. So check your emails if you're subscribed to any of our newsletters. If you're not, I will launch the free guide in these days. I will post a video and on all platforms so you will know if you follow us. Our only English platforms, only English accounts are these ones. Immigration TV, Immigration with double M, TV on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We are verified on TikTok and also on Instagram. So that's so you know it's me. And then on YouTube, the handle was not available. So we are Immigration TV USA, and we are verified there as well. So you can follow us everywhere. Come to YouTube if you want, subscribe, because I post there first. If you want to watch the videos before everyone else, come to YouTube. All the news are there. Everything's there first. And I go live there all the time. We have the community tab as well and many other features. I love YouTube. I like all the other platforms and I pay attention to all of them, but YouTube is the best. Can I extend B1 visa? You can, but it's kind of risky because B1 is a business visa. So when you apply for the tourist visa, let me show you guys. When you apply to the tourist visa, you can apply for the B2 tourist, for B1 business, or B1/B2. You should do that. And this is what I got here. If you see, it says, well, you're not going to see, but it says B1, B2. And that means that I can either use it for a short business trip or a tourist trip. Business doesn't mean come to the US and work and earn money in the meantime. It means coming to a conference, coming to an unpaid training, coming to negotiate a contract, short business trip without earning money while in US soil, okay? So extending the B1 could be suspicious. What are you doing 6 months on a short business trip without earning money? I don't see it, my friend. Technically, you can, but good luck explaining that. And it's kind of risky. I don't like it. You can extend the tourist visa. It's also risky. Imagine extending tourist visa is risky. Tourist status. Business, it will be suspicious. But I don't know your case. I will get legal advice before doing it for sure. Jazmín says in Spanish, Jazmín, este es el stream en inglés. I'm gonna say it in English and then I will tell Jazmín because she's asking in Spanish. So Jazmín is asking if it's better to petition um, your child over 21 years old if you're a US citizen or a resident. In both cases, it takes a long time. If the son or daughter is married and you're a resident, you cannot petition your son or daughter only if you're a citizen. And it takes a long time. If they're unmarried, right now, a resident is a bit faster, but that may change. I will say it quickly in Spanish for Jazmín. Jazmín, si tu hijo está casado, no lo puedes pedir si es residente, solo si sos ciudadana. Cuando cumple 21 años tarda un montón, tarda un poquito menos siendo residente que ciudadano, pero igual tarda un montón. Y si está casado, no lo puedes pedir siendo residente, solo siendo ciudadano y tarda mucho. Thank you, guys. But this is our English stream. We have Spanish accounts if you want, guys. It's called Inmigración TV, and we are everywhere. You can find it that way. Come to YouTube, Inmigración TV, if you want to learn Spanish. If you don't know Spanish, don't come to the Spanish accounts because you will hurt the channel, because you will not watch the videos. And YouTube will think, Mohammed doesn't like the Spanish videos. But if you're serious about learning Spanish or you speak Spanish, come to the Spanish accounts, my friends. Thank you. Thanks for the support. But if you like social media, this is an advice I can give you. Do not bring people to your channels if they don't speak the language or they are not interested in the content because they will not watch it. A lot of people make the mistake of inviting their family members to their new business on social media. The family members probably are not interested in your business and they will not watch the content. They will put a like, but they will not watch the videos, and that will hurt the algorithm. Okay? That's something that I learned in these YouTuber conventions. Okay? Only have the right audience in every platform, not the people that are not interested in. How do you subscribe to the newsletter? If you come to the link in my bio, you will have, let me show you guys. On every platform that we have the link in the bio, okay? If you don't find it, you can type immigration, let me see, immigration.bio. Immigration.bio. No, that's not the name. Immigration TV. Let me see. Sorry, don't go to immigration.bio. Immigration.tv.bio. And you will have, if you suffer an accident in the US and you got injured, we can help you find a lawyer all across the US. We have a big network of trusted lawyers with their duly licenses and no sanctions and a history of success. I can help you find a lawyer. You don't pay for the evaluation for the personal injury lawyer, and you only pay the case if the lawyer wins. You only pay for the lawyer if the lawyer wins. So it's kind of free lawyer in a sense. Unless you win, then you get the money and you pay the fair share. Then you can get a private consultation there. You can open the business with an LLC, and there you can get the free Work in the USA guide. If you get the Work in the USA free guide, you will enter our newsletter and you will get all our emails. So if you want to know more about the Green Card Lottery, if you are in the newsletter, I will let you know, guys, about the free guide. If you're not interested in the Work in the USA free guide, don't subscribe. It's fine. I will let you know, guys, about the Green Card Lottery free guide during this week. I will launch it and I will announce it on every platform that we are in. Do I get the green card if I marry a U.S. citizen? A U.S. citizen can petition the spouse. It's not automatic. You need to do the process. But yeah, in most cases, that works. Julio, is there a low chance to get the tourist visa if you're a lottery applier? Good question by Yesad Axel. Axel, no, that's no problem. A lot of people apply for the Green Card Lottery and they have zero issues applying for a tourist visa. A lot of people with a tourist visa apply for the Green Card Lottery. There's no problem. This is a law from Congress. It's legal. It's not showing immigration intent, just applying a lottery. It doesn't create any issue whatsoever. So apply with no anxiety. But it's a good question. It's an intelligent question, but I get it every year, but it's no problem. Okay, so there are people posting links on our live stream, I don't allow that because that may be a scam or something. Do not click any link from anyone on this chat. Do not click links that you don't know what they are in general, my friends. I'm from Ethiopia. How can I come to the USA? Says Nualif Waya. So there are many ways you can come. Depends on what you want to do. If you wanna, you can get a B2 tourist visa. You can get an F1 student visa. You can get a work visa. We have many for people with academic degrees or without. People with a lot of success or without. You can have an investor visa. You can have many green cards based on employment, based on family. If you have a family member that gets you a green card, you can, yeah. These are the most common ways, but depends on your case. Avian says, hello, everyone. I am from Indonesia. How, Avian? Thanks for being here. Happy that you're here. What time is in Indonesia right now? I want to know. I'm going to Google it. Let's see. Time in Indonesia. Right now it's 11 a.m. and with 9 minutes, 11:10 a.m. Wow. Here is 9:10 p.m. on Tuesday. So I'm in the past right now. Jude says that's from Uganda. Nice being here. Thank you, Jude, for being here. Jude Victor. I don't know if your name is Jude or Victor or both. But in any case, Johnny from Germany, thank you guys for being here. In Jakarta, 11:09 a.m. Yeah, guys, you're in the future. How is the future? Tell me. I suffered an earthquake. It woke me up the other day. There was an earthquake in Malibu, which is a city near Los Angeles where I live. And we don't have earthquakes in Argentina. We had a few back in the day, but it's not a common thing. So I'm not used to that. I don't know if you guys ever suffer that. But it was kind of scary. And I was doing a live stream the other day on my Spanish accounts, and I suffered an earthquake during the live stream. But it wasn't that big, fortunately. Have you ever been to Thailand? Not yet, but it's one of the most beautiful countries in the world. I know that for a fact. So hopefully one day, Mihangyung, I'll go there and visit your beautiful country. Hopefully one day. Maxwell says, nice to meet you. I wish to speak like you. Maxwell, thank you so much. You know what? I was telling you guys a few minutes ago that I'm not happy with my accent and the way I speak English in general, because I'm well aware that I'm making mistakes while I speak. But you know what? It doesn't matter. The important thing, if you have a good will, is that you understand me and I understand you, and we have the will to understand each other. I make mistakes in Spanish. We all make mistakes in our own native language. Of course, I will make a mistake in English. It's not my native language, but this is something I learned when I was a kid. It's important to start talking and trying. That's the only way to learn. And you will make mistakes, and that's fine. If someone gets offended by that, that's not my problem. You know, at this point. But again, like I wasn't doing English content because of my accent, and Gianfranco, my business partner, was like, you should do it. Some people will appreciate it. I was like, do you think they will like it? And you know what's going on right now? We have more followers on Instagram in English than in Spanish. And my account in Spanish is older. I speak native language there, so I'm faster. I promise you guys, I'm much more intelligent in Spanish than I am in English. I feel trapped in this language, but it's what it is. So, you know, keep going. If you don't have a perfect accent or grammar or whatever, it doesn't matter. Keep trying and try to learn, of course, to try to get better. I try to learn all the time, but don't get paralyzed. That's my advice, my humble advice. Also, there's a phrase that I like, which is done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect. Sometimes I'm a perfectionist. Maybe you're watching me and you're a perfectionist too. That's a big issue to be that, because you get paralyzed by what's the phrase? Paralyzed by analysis paralysis or something like that. You analyze too much. You want to be so much perfect, and you don't do anything because of that. That's a big issue. I struggle with that a lot, especially back in the day. Now I act. I know I need to do things. I need to execute. Life is short, my friends, and use your opportunities. If you want to be perfect, that's probably you're hiding your own insecurities. If you try to be perfect, maybe in deep inside, you're trying to hide your insecurities, which is normal. We are all, in some sense, insecure because life is hard, and unexpected. But done is better than perfect all the time. How can I get a visit visa from Bangladesh? Says MD Chopon. So it's a tourist visa, the B2. This live streaming started with 4 mistakes people make while applying for the visa. This live stream will be replayed on YouTube as always. So come to YouTube. You're on Facebook right now. So come to Immigration TV USA. Subscribe with a little bell so you don't miss any news and any videos. And I post everything first on YouTube. So Immigration TV USA. And I explain 4 mistakes people make so you don't make them, and you hopefully get your tourist visa. Kagen says, I am an asylum seeker. I do the car injury claim. It affects on my case? No. Personal injury claim has no effect on an asylum case. It's an accident that does not have any effect. Now, if you suffer a crime in the US, it's a serious crime, you may close the asylum court or case with a U visa. But that's a crime, not an accident. Okay. Can I apply in military Navy during my visit in the US? Says Assad. No. Only a US citizen or a permanent resident can enter the army or the military. Back in the day, there was a program not many years ago by which you can get an immigration benefit by joining the armed forces, but that's not current anymore. Okay, so I have people spamming my chat with offers and stuff. I will block that. I don't want people scamming people on my chat. So I will block anyone that is putting a link or selling stuff there. This is not the place. This is a place of respect, and we try to, all of us, trying to learn more about U.S. immigration. So you will get a block if you try to sell stuff here, okay? Don't do it. Unique Hamad says, I am living in Dubai. I want to visit the USA. Well, Dubai is a beautiful city. I've been there a few years ago. It's a tourist visa then to visit. It's a B2 visa. Glenn says, good day, everyone. Happy to have you here. Thanks for joining. Graduated 10 years ago from USA, left it, says Fatena. Had social security number, still works. Can I get green card? My son is born in the US. Okay, with a social security, you don't get a green card. Back in the day, when you got an F1 student visa, you may get a social security. Now it's not the case anymore, but the number is the same, and you keep it. It may be useful for sometimes opening a bank account, stuff like that, or get a credit card. But that's much it. Probably not more than that. Then if your son is a US citizen, they can petition you if the son is over 21 years old, and they may petition you if you're inside or outside the US. If you are inside, be careful how you enter. If you enter with a visa, it's fine, even if you overstayed. If you have a US citizen son petitioning you or daughter. But if you enter with no documents, then maybe they cannot help you. That's a big issue with a lot of immigrants that enter without documents. They have a child here in the US. That child is a US citizen by law, by the US Constitution, the 14th Amendment. They become a US citizen when you are born in the US. But then since you enter illegally, the son or daughter cannot help you, unfortunately. There are a few exceptions, but they're kind of tough. I have B1, B2 visa, my son's citizenship. Okay, if your son is over 21 and you have the tourist visa and you enter the US and you stay here, you can wait for the green card inside. But entering on a tourist visa to get a green card can be an issue at the airport. If the officer knows you're using the tourist visa to get a green card, the tourist visa is not for that. You can do it for that, but if they find out when you try to enter, you may have a problem. Otherwise, you can do it waiting outside through the consulate. Can I get your WhatsApp? I don't use WhatsApp. I don't use Telegram. I don't have a Telegram. There's a verified account on Telegram, and it's not me. I don't know how they did it. It's a scammer, okay? I do not use Telegram. I do not use WhatsApp. I do not chat on social media either, because we have thousands of messages every day. It's unmanageable. The only way to interact is go to the link in my bio on a verified account on social media. Immigration TV is verified on Instagram, on YouTube, and on TikTok. You have a blue check on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. That's me, Immigration TV. But I don't use Telegram. I don't use WhatsApp. And if someone's trying to impersonate me to scam immigrants, I will do everything within my power to put that person in jail. There are a few people creating accounts pretending to be me. I block them all the time. And we found a few of these scammers, and we are trying to prosecute them. Okay? So, yeah, don't do that. Don't mess with a lawyer. Okay? I don't. For me, people doing that, they're dumb. Like, if you're a scammer, you're a dumb scammer. Let me tell you that. Messing up with a lawyer is one of the stupidest things that I've ever seen. But it's what it is. So no WhatsApp, no Telegram. Just go on our social media accounts and click the link in my bio. And then you can book a consultation. And that's the proper way to do it. Hi, Asman from Bangladesh. Hopefully you're doing well. Can LPR, someone with a green card, file for a spouse who's legally in the US? They can. They can. If you didn't overstay any status and you're on status, that's fine. But depends on how much status you have left. Because right now there's a bit of delay in this type of petition. So sometimes it's not enough time. Depends on the case. This is complex, so get a legal advice before doing it. How are you live on YouTube and what's TikTok at the same time and different audio? Yes. So I'm using two microphones. That's why. You don't see what I have here. So I have two phones, one camera. The camera connects to YouTube and Facebook. I go live on my phone on TikTok. I go live on another phone on Instagram. TikTok is connected with one microphone, YouTube and Facebook with a different one and a different camera. So yeah, it's a mess, but that's how I do it. It's the only way. And in Spanish, it's even worse. I connect to 10 platforms at the same time in Spanish because I have more accounts. In English, I only have TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And Threads, but I don't go live on Threads. I don't know if you can go live on Threads. This is a new Twitter for Instagram, for Meta. La from Pakistan says system notification. Love you back, system notification. Hopefully you're doing well. How many months does it take for a fiance visa? I think you were trying to say. No, there's no finance visa. Fiance visa to get approved. Latest reports say around 16 to 18 months. If the fiance K1 visa. So people asking about the lottery. There's nothing you can do right now. It's not open to apply. I will let you guys know. It will be beginning of October. If you are on our newsletters, I will let you know by email. Otherwise, don't worry. If you follow us on social media, we'll let you guys on these platforms when it launches, okay? And this week, I will launch the free Green Card Lottery guide, okay? Probably Thursday or Friday. So stay tuned to your emails and our social media platforms. Where is your other brother? So Gianfranco already left the office because right now it's 9:23 p.m. in LA. Gianfranco has a family, so he left a few hours ago, but I stay working hard here for you guys. When I have some times, I just turn on the cameras and answer some questions. Mustafa says he has a green card. If he can return back to his country, yes, you can, unless you got it through asylum. If you got your green card through asylum, asylum is for people that are afraid to go back to the country. So if you get asylum, you get the green card, and you come back to the country, you may risk your green card. They may think you lied. But in most cases, having a green card, you can go to the country with no problem. Where are you from originally? Okay, let's do this. People that already know, please do not answer. Let's play this game. Only for people that do not know my origin. Where do you think I'm from originally? If you know, don't do it. Don't spoil the party, okay? Where do you guys think I'm from? Mustafa says Iraq. Someone without name says Nigeria. What else? India. No. Australia, Spain. Mexico, Spain. Albania, says Enzo. USA, says Victor. Nepal, Colombia. Colombia is not a country, it's Colombia. Somalia, Antarctica. Benin, USA, Nepal, Ethiopia, Ukraine, Venezuela, Poland, United Kingdom. Come on, guys, you're telling all the countries in the world. No, I am originally from Argentina. It's a country in South America, but my ancestors are Spanish and French. So you guys had said Spanish. I'm not Spanish, but I have ancestors from there, from Spain and France and a bit from Italy. Those are my origins, but I'm born and raised in Argentina and 100% Argentinian. Okay? And a world champion like Lionel Messi, obviously. I love Argentina, says Shahisa. That's because I'm from Argentina, or you truly love Argentina? Canadian, no. Argentina, maestro. Argentina, Messi. My question here is Messi better than Cristiano Ronaldo? Yes or no? And if you think Messi is not better than Cristiano Ronaldo, do not answer. Messi, exactly, yes. I saw Messi play many times. For Argentina, for Barcelona, and Inter Miami as well. Here in LA, in Barcelona, and in Argentina. And in New Jersey as well. Brazil, no, from Argentina. I love Brazil, but I'm from Argentina. Everyone's saying that Messi is better. Exactly, I agree with you. You're a lucky brother. Yes, I'm really proud of being Argentinian. It's a beautiful country. We have a lot of problems as well. Economic problems, political problems, some corruption. I used to work in the judiciary in Argentina, in the judicial power, and in Congress, writing the laws, okay, of my country as an advisor. And I was investigating corruption, judicial corruption in Argentina, and helping appoint federal judges, giving the list to the president, so the president can appoint federal judges in Argentina. That was a tough job. We had a tough job because we were investigating judicial corruption, and we have a lot of that in Argentina, in Latin America in general. Yeah, I studied corruption in the UK. It was part of the master's degree that I got there when I studied in London. So it's something I'm really interested in that. Fatena says he's the second Maradona. Messi, well, they're different. I saw play Maradona live. That's how old I am. Many years ago. He played for Boca Juniors. That's my team in Argentina, the blue and yellow color team. Batistuta used to play there. Carlos Tevez, maybe you know him, and Maradona, and Riquelme. And yeah, I saw Maradona live many times play with Argentina and with. But yeah, it's a difficult question for Argentina. Who's better, Maradona or Messi? They were both amazing. I think Messi was more consistent. So yeah, but I love both. Ortega, yeah. But Ortega used to play in River Plate, which is the rivals from Boca Juniors, but yeah. And Batistuta, yeah, I saw Batistuta many times. I saw him personally. I went to Italy. Batistuta was a striker that was amazing in the 90s. and he used to play in Boca in the national team and in Fiorentina in Italy. And I went to the training camp in Firenze, in Florence, to see Batistuta train. And when all the players were leaving, there was some employee from the club that said, "Who is from Argentina?" And I was like 15 years old. And I was like, "I'm from Argentina." And she said, "Come here." So he got me inside a room, and Batistuta was there. This is a random Tuesday. Batistuta, who was a star, was greeting the Argentinians, me and some other guys, randomly, just because he's a nice guy. So I never forgot that. It's a simple gesture, but shows he's a humble guy, and I love him. Yeah, he was my idol. I also love Ronaldo from, not Cristiano. Cristiano is amazing, but Ronaldo from Brazil. I was a big fan of R9. I love him. I saw him once in Uruguay at a party. I was at a party with Ronaldo once. Yeah, that's a true story, and I had a picture. Yep. But Ronaldo the Brazilian. I've never saw Cristiano yet. Ronaldinho is amazing. I never saw Ronaldinho play, unfortunately, but he was magic. Can F1 student holder, visa holder, now asylum seeker continue study? If you are applying for asylum, you may study while you wait. You can, yes. Chat in YouTube. Yeah, I'm on every platform right now. Not every platform. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. I read all of them. But I am at all of them at the same time, so the messages go this way. This is what I see. So I try to read what I can. Sorry about that. So I know you guys are asking the same question, and I encourage you guys to do it, but it's not easy for me to read all of that. So I'm doing my best. I'm sorry. Why USA has too much crime? Well, depends where. Depends where. It's a large country. It's a huge country. And some cities are unsafe and some are super safe. Depends. But yeah, some cities can be unsafe, unfortunately. For example, I live in Los Angeles. If you are in downtown LA, there are some parts, for Skid Row, for example, it's kind of dangerous. Some parts in LA are dangerous. Beverly Hills, you may heard of Beverly Hills. It's really safe. It has its own police. If you call the police, they are there in 15 seconds. So things happen everywhere in every big city, but depends on the part of the city. New York used to be really dangerous in the 80s, and then it got much better. But depends on where you go, the time where you go. You always need to be mindful about that. But I mean, I'm from Argentina, so saying some places unsafe, like the US, for me is not that unsafe. I feel quite safe here, hopefully. Hello from Kurdistan, says Ahmad. Thank you, Ahmad, for being here. Kurdistan is so far away. I would love to visit your country one day. What about EB3, says Pepe? Okay, EB3 is an employment-based category green card. When you see EB, is employment-based 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's great because you can have it if you don't have an academic degree or if you have one. But there's a lot of petitions and depends on the subcategory. For example, other workers or unskilled workers, meaning people without an academic degree. This green card may take many years. There's starting to get a big backlog here. So be careful with that. You need to plan in advance. But people from the Philippines, thank you for being here. Manjit says, "Hi, sir. My name is Manjit. I'm pronouncing it right. It says, I belong to India. I need a visa. So what can I do? Depends on what visa you want, my friend. Depends if you want to study, if you want to work, if you want to come as a tourist, if you want to invest. Depends on what you want to do. All the visas are different. Have you ever been to Canada? No, not yet. And it's a crime because it's nearby and it's beautiful, but I haven't been to Canada. It's a beautiful country. I was looking at plane tickets to go there, but One day, hopefully. There are so many places to visit. How good, how are you doing? Thanks for being here. Which country is safe for girls? Well, the US is a safe country for girls in general. Depends on the city. But I know that some countries that are safe in general are Tokyo, are Japan. I know because I went to Tokyo and I heard it's one of the safest in the world. Singapore is really safe. I don't know what to tell you, but some European countries, some Asian countries, depends where you go. Nepal is safe, guys, says, I didn't read your name, sorry. Sankalpa. I have a friend from Nepal. She studied with me at UCLA. She was really intelligent and a good person. So hopefully, my cousin went to Nepal once and he was amazed by it. So I would like to go one day. It's so far from here, but one day I love to travel. I am living in Japan, says Prasad. I went to Japan from LA. It's not that far. It's 11 hours direct flight. It's a lot of hours, but I'm from Argentina originally. Coming to Japan is impossible. It's like going to the moon. It's 36 hours, 3 connections. I don't know. You don't go to Japan if you live in Argentina because it takes so long. When I was living in LA, I'm living now here, but when I was studying in LA, in the US, they have spring break, which is this crazy trip students take. And all my friends were going to Miami, to Mexico. I was like, I want to go to Japan. So I took a plane alone, 9 days to Japan just to go to Tokyo and Kyoto, and was one of the most beautiful trips I've ever had in my life. Go to Japan if you have the chance. It's beautiful. I love your voice. Very attractive. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Where do you live? I live in Los Angeles, but I am from Argentina. I'm an immigrant as well, my friends. So what about World Tattoo Convention for visitors for an artist from India? I have an invitation for convention. Okay, so you can use a B1 business, B1, B2, B1 business visa and say, I'm an artist, I'm coming for a convention. That's totally fine for a B1 visa. You cannot work or earn money while in the US with that visa, but you can attend a professional convention. Yeah, that's the visa for that is the B1. When you get the tourist visa, the B2, you should petition B1/B2. And when you enter the country, you tell the officer, I'm coming to this convention. I would have a printed invitation or something, or on the phone at least, to show the convention. And hopefully, the the days that you're staying here are the same of the convention. You can also do tourism afterwards, but tell the officer what you're going to do. Min says, have you been to Singapore? No, not yet. I had a friend from Singapore when I was studying in England, and he was probably the most intelligent person in the class, really. And he studied really hard, a good guy. So hopefully one day I can visit him in Singapore. I would love to. Also far away. I have a friend from Argentina who went there and he loved it. I know you guys don't eat bubble gums. I know that. And that it's really safe and developed. And I studied Singapore a lot because I was studying corruption. And guys, Singapore is one of the less corrupted countries in the world, and it's amazing. But it used to be corrupt a few decades ago, but now it's one of the top, I think it's top 7 in the Transparency Index, in Transparency International Index, which is really reliable. So Singapore is up there with the Nordic countries, with Norway, Denmark, Sweden, etc. So congrats, Singapore, doing a great job against corruption. I love you guys. Give me tips tomorrow, my interview in the Emirates, says Umair. Okay, some tips for an immigration interview. Please, first watch all our our videos because we give advice all the time. But a few tips, quick tips. Arrive early, 15, 30 minutes before. Most consulates do not let you enter with a phone, so probably you will not be able to enter any electronic device. Dress up as if you're going for a business trip. That's another tip. A business interview, a job interview. Then only answer the questions that the officer is asking. Do not start answering whatever you want. Just answer. Just go straight to the point. Um, then have know your case very well. Have all documents at hand. Usually, for if you're going for a tourist visa, I don't know if that's the case, but assuming it is, uh, usually you don't have enough time to show documents or papers, and the officers usually don't like it that much. But just have it at hand in case you need to show something. Only show it if you're required to do so. Okay. So and then go with a positive attitude. Try not be respectful with the officer. Know that the officer is trying to do the job the best they can. Um, and yeah, stay positive and know your case perfectly. And have your documents at hand and go with enough time so you don't have any uh, thing going on while trying to get to the consulate. Traffic, stuff like that can delay you. So be with enough time, be present with enough time. And good luck tomorrow. Let us know how it went. Hopefully, you get the visa. I'm wishing you the visa. Why are you not answering? This happens the same in Spanish. When I go live on many platforms at the same time, and I have two phones plus a camera. So I get the messages like this. It's impossible for me to read all the questions, unfortunately. I feel bad because I want to answer all the questions, but this is impossible. So I'm sorry about that. I'm doing my best. Give me visa. Here you go. That would be beautiful. That would be chaos. If I'm giving visas, I would give visas to all of you guys. Doesn't work that way. Unfortunately for me and you. Yeah. Please take the call. I don't know what call, but go to the link in my bio and then you can book a call there. That's the way to do it. If someone overstays their visa, does immigration go out and look for them? Says Rich Man YBC. They can if they want, but the risk is really low, honestly. But there are millions of people living without documents in the US and they don't go after them. They can if they want. If you overstay and you have a crime, then your chances are higher of being detained. That can happen if you're a dangerous person. When Trump was in office, it was more common than it is right now with Biden. This may change if Trump is the new president. I have been refused twice here in Ghana, says King Fahad. Fahad, I'm sorry. Hopefully you can get what you are looking for. Do not apply until you change your circumstances. That's my advice. But keep trying because a lot of people get it after a few refusals. That can happen. But do not apply immediately and try to change your case in a way. For example, if you are rejected and maybe it was because you're unemployed, do not apply again if you are still unemployed. Try to do it if you get a job. That's a change of circumstance. That's an example. But the first thing would be try to understand why you got rejected. Then for a lot of countries, the rejection rate is quite high, and that's nobody's fault. The issue here is the Department of State has information of people that are overstaying their visas. For example, any given countries, they know nationals from those countries overstay their visas. When the government knows that, then it will be more difficult for other people of the same nationality to get the visa because their co-nationals were not abiding by the law. They were misusing their visas. And that's not the fault of the new people trying to get the visa, unfortunately, but this is what happens. So in some countries, they may deny the tourist visa just without many analysis. And this is because they are tough in that consulate. That can happen, unfortunately. Not all the consulates are the same, for sure. What's considered overstay? When you enter the US on a tourist visa or other visas, the officer lets you stay for a given period of time. Tourist visa could be up to 6 months. Depends on the officer every time you enter. And you can check that on the I-94 form online. You Google I-94 with the number CBP and go to the official government page with the info of your passport. You can look up for this information. And for example, if they let you stay until today and you leave tomorrow, you overstay. And the more you overstay, then you can have other problems. You can have 3 and 10-year bars. And if you leave the country, they will activate and they are automatic. If you stay more than 6 months or more than 1 year, undocumented. 4 months on tourist visa, is that too much? It could be much. It could be a lot. Depends on the officer next time at the consulate if you want to renew or you want to re-enter. But there's not a magic number. Depends on the given officer when you enter or the officer when it's trying to analyze your case if you want to renew your visa. Really fast, our only English accounts are Immigration TV on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Immigration TV, and we are verified on all of those except Facebook. We are applying for verification, but we have over 800,000 followers on Facebook. So if you find another English account with less followers, it's not me. It's Immigration TV. And then, sorry, not on YouTube. On YouTube is Immigration TV USA. Immigration TV is on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Guys, Green Card Lottery coming up. I will let you guys know soon on the email. I will launch the free Green Card Lottery guide very soon. So stay tuned to our channels and our emails. I will let you go. Early October, you may have the chance to change your life with the Green Card Lottery, and I will help you guys with it. Thanks for being here. Sorry, all the questions that I couldn't answer. We had over an hour and almost an hour and a half of live streaming, and I need to go sleep. Thank you, guys. Enjoy your day, and thanks for being here, and take care.